Okay, guys, so in this collective reading, I'm going to be talking about a situation that some people in the collective are facing. So let's find out what is this whole reading about. First of all, I'm being told that it's the words that matter to you a lot, and there is someone specific in your life who is using words that are not very nice, or the way they speak, the language they speak, or sometimes the things they say, they really hurt you. So this person is mirroring you right now, and you must be thinking that I don't even talk like this. I don't talk like this. I don't speak like this. Then why is this person treating me this way and hurting me by their words, by using certain type of words? So let's understand that this mirroring is happening in opposite polarity mode. Okay. So these words that they use, this person is using, it's not describing you. Okay. It's not about you. Please understand, it is the quality of that own person is shown when they communicate with you. It could be a he, it could be a she. When they communicate with you in a certain way, it hurts you and you feel humiliated or disrespected. And most importantly, you feel that this person does not value you so much because they're willing to hurt you, they're willing to make you feel bad, they're willing to uh, make your days go bad, or a single day, or like they understand that a certain word is going to trigger a certain sentiment in you, and it's making you feel unworthy, devalued, all of that, but still they're using this type of speech. This person basically lacks speech refinement, okay, and they are using it like a blunt instrument rather than a precise tool. And this person is also loyal. You feel they are providing you something. This person is there for you. Uh, they are much nicer to you. You have a bond with this person. In some cases, I would say this is a paternal relationship, paternal maternal. In some cases, it's a platonic relationship, but most probably this seems to be a romantic connection. So you see that there is something good in this person. Either they are loyal to you, or you have a very strong bond, or you're in a committed relationship. Okay. But they lack the intellectual maturity to handle someone like you, or to be around someone like you without feeling the need to poke your insecurities. Okay. Now, we all have insecurities. It's not wrong to have insecurities. But if you are doing inner work, because this other person cannot do inner work, they are not the type, or they are not the kind, or they're not interested in inner work. Remember, when you're in the ascension journey, you don't expect other people to do inner work. I mean, it's even better if you go out in life, all out in life, and you hang out with people who don't do inner work. And it's like, how well can you survive or thrive? Thrive is a better word right here. How well you can thrive in this situation, in this condition where people around you don't believe in the concept of inner work, or improving themselves, or bettering themselves, or just taking responsibility for their actions or their words. When you're hanging out with such people, living your life with such people, and you know that they will not take ownership of their words or their actions. In fact, in the world of inner work, it's always you who is supposed to take responsibility of even the way people treat you. You're supposed to forgive people, you're supposed to not react with people. You know about non reactivity, you know about the stoic information that you have. Uh, so then what are you supposed to do? You must be thinking that, are you supposed to go through this? So in the very beginning, I told you that this person, not in the very beginning, somewhere abhi, right now only, this person probably lacks the intellectual maturity, but they are loyal to you, or they are in a providing relationship with you. Either they provide you some kind of emotional support, they give you love in some way, they give you presence in some way. I mean, if you compare, if you make the comparison, then you'll notice that a lot of people actually want to manifest what you have. A lot of people, okay? But you know what it has taken you in life to reach to that point, and sometimes you also feel that it was predestined, it was meant to happen. So whatever efforts you were making in life of bettering yourself, it was a spiritual way of living your life, or let's say even if it's not a spiritual way, just a way of living your life, and this person just happened. And you it was pre-written, so it manifested on its own, is what you're thinking. Now you're thinking like that, but when you look at other people, you realize that maybe they want what you have. Okay, a lot of people want what you have. So that makes you kind of sit back and think that, are you overreacting? Are you not able to handle them? Is your inner work still not that great that it's really making a difference in your life, what they say, what they do? I mean, why are you getting affected by this person? Why it is affecting you so much that you're having sleepless nights, or you're having a lot of anger, and you're not able to focus on what you want? Like, you want a career, you want money, you want a happy life, you just want to feel good, you want to be independent. But the words this person is telling you, or their actions in certain way, like body language, tonality, why it's affecting you so much is what you're thinking. So I'm being told that you have a certain magnetism, okay? And this magnetism reduces when you react to this person. And when they bother you, uh, it could be possible that they're desperate for your attention, but they cannot put it in words. They have an ego, okay? Their ego is not allowing them to do so. They want your love, they want your attention, or they want you to show to them that everything is about this person, okay? Everything is about your specific person. Even when you feel that they are not being nice to you, they're not understanding you, they are making you insecure. And this could also have communication, like personal communication, but I think there's something else they could be doing. It could be digital communication, it could be they're talking about you with others. Something to do with communication is being shown to me, okay? So you need to live your life in such a way that their talks, their behavior is irrelevant to you. Like, you can be happy and you don't have to care about whatever this person says. Now, whatever you're doing career wise or money wise, your root chakra basically, and confidence also, you feel that like this is your job, you don't want to get affected, because every time this person's words or speech problem, debilitated speech, or distorted speech, whatever it is, whenever they use it on you, uh, you kind of lose track of things, and it triggers some kind of worry in you. So worrying is a low frequency energy. It's a very, very low frequency energy. It's also the lack of gratitude, and being ungrateful is the biggest sin. And when I say sin, I also mean that it takes you low in your frequency. Okay, there's a certain number which is given to a certain behavior, like guilt or emotion. Guilt and shame is the lowest on the chart. So it is triggering some very low frequency emotions, your reaction or your feeling, and it is making you worry. Okay, now you need to be 100% emotionally mature and gain emotional immunity via that maturity. Okay, so this person is making you feel that they are a prize, and their behavior is just a way to make you realize how much better they are than you. Okay, how much better they are, but actually internally they feel you're better. Okay, so they want to They don't want you to be so independent. They don't want you to be so uh, have individual views or have a thought of your own, a voice of your own. But one more thing I want to talk about here, which is very psychological in nature. These all these things could be projections. Like every time they make you insecure, it could be that you also want to feel better because they're making you feel unworthy, you want to feel worthy. They're making you feel insecure, you want to feel secure. They're making you feel that relationship with this person is a risky one, you don't want to be at that kind of risky place in life. Okay, so their speech is trying to make you feel jealous and insecure on purpose. And there are certain things that you need to watch out for, and you also need to look at the good qualities of this person. So we'll do it one by one. Okay, this is showing me sort of battle of the titans. Now titans love to fight, they were always at war, and they are below human beings. They actually belong to the lower, slightly lower frequency, because in that frequency ego is very important, and they're constantly at war to prove who's right and who's wrong. Okay, so here the battle of titans is actually happening first in your head, and then it is in externally being mirrored. Okay, so what do you need to watch out for? You need to watch out for the information gap between you and this person. um, every time they say something to you, it's actually giving you information, it is data for you. You need to understand that what is it that they're trying to tell you. It's not like directly they're telling you, oh, you're an idiot, you're a stupid person, and you don't know how to do things, you don't know how to get things done. What is the information that they're providing you in this? That's what you need to think about. Okay, instead of, so before you react, you need to pause and you need to listen to them, and you need to understand what are they trying to give me as data which can help me move ahead in life, get to somewhere better. Okay, so could be possible that this person is not transparent to you about some kind of family finances or family dynamics. I'm being shown that. And they're not providing you details, they're not providing you proper details, or they're casual about verbal promises. If they make a promise to you, they don't usually fulfill. They might make mistakes, or because you're depending too much on their promises, you're not doing the work that you're supposed to do, and then they might make mistakes that cost you, or they cost you in some way. It cost you in some way, the mistake. Either it's costing you emotional energy or financial uh, problems. So you're not able to trust this person, and they definitely think that you don't know much. And if they're giving you some kind of advice, you feel that it's more emotionally driven and it's not logical. So you need to listen to this person, you need to listen to him or her to make them feel valued. Okay, but still you need to listen to your internal voice, and you need to follow your gut, but you also need to have a balance of logic and emotion. Emotion is required, logic is required, both are required. But if it's your job, if it's your business, if it's your career, if it's something you love, then you have to follow your instinct. You cannot let other people decide for you. Okay, so you need to take responsibility for that. You need to be, you already are sharper than this person in your department. Maybe in their department they're very good, so you need to make them understand that, look, whatever you love to do in life, you do it, whatever it is. I will not interfere. I don't want to interfere. But whatever I love to do, let me do it. And you don't do these things by talking about it all the time, by explaining it to them. You just do it. You listen to people. Sometimes you can even say, okay, yeah, I will do it. Because look, they're also making promises to you, verbal promises or whatever kind of promises, but they don't fulfill it. According to the reading, I'm being shown this. So you also don't need to fulfill all your words, and you don't always have to be good all the time, because this is not the theme of planet Earth. Planet Earth is all about discernments. In a certain context, you have to behave a certain way. and in some other context you cannot apply the same formula over there. You need to have another formula for it. Even the same person, you cannot treat them the same way in everything. Okay, so here I am being shown that they have some good qualities along with some annoyances. Okay, and this is going to happen with everybody, literally. But why is it relevant for you is because you're doing inner work. It's happening with like billions of people on the planet, but they are not looking for information online. They are not watching YouTube for this to solve this. They're not attracted to this one. You are attracted to it, and if you're attracted to it, it's to make you realize that most people are living their lives like that, but you don't have to. You in this moment have to be smart, and you have to check your ego, and you have to look at what do they bring to the table, because I'm sure everybody brings something to the table. Okay, you need to figure that out. You need to understand what makes you happy or what makes you relaxed, and if this person is giving you trouble, then you need to also take a stand for yourself. Yes, they could be they could be wrong, they could be mean, they could be rude. It's not, I'm not telling you to take their bullshit. On the contrary, I'm telling you to not take their bullshit. Okay, but do it in a smart way. You don't put all your cards out every time, no matter who it is. It doesn't matter, because in this planet, unfortunately, one more thing happens. It's your own people that hurt you the most. A person on the street cannot hurt you so much. A random person doesn't have the power to hurt you so much. Comments on social media will not matter to you so much. You can argue with them, you can fight with them, you can give them your knowledge, information, your gyan, whatever you want to give them, you can give it back to them, and after some time you will forget about it. And this I'm telling you to others also. If you're doing the same thing to someone else, they'll also sit and think about it for a while. They'll probably write something, reply, but then they'll move on. But when someone very close to you says something to you, it can linger on for a very, very long time and have a completely different impact, which may be very intense, maybe dark. So this is the reason why you need to do things that protect your peace. Okay, and you need to do it in a smart way. You don't want to worry, you don't want to go into low frequencies, you don't have to spoil your mood and spoil your day. You have your focus, you have your goals, you have all these things intact, so you need to work accordingly. Okay, and this person could be providing you a palace where you can sit on your throne and you can build your empire form. Okay, so they can be a catalyst for you, and you need to look at this person as a catalyst. If you're not going to do that, then you're not playing a smart game in life. So to be smart worker, not just doing hard work all the time, not just making efforts unnecessarily, you need to be smart and you need to take them like a catalyst. Okay, and with a lot of you people, I'm also noticing that this person adds brand value to you. This person, people see you as a power couple, because the kind of people I am reading right now, you have already manifested. In the beginning, I said that a lot of people want to manifest what you have. Okay, so it means that you have manifested certain things, and this person adds on to that image that you are a good manifester, and together you have certain things. So as I said, it could be a platonic connection, but if it's a romantic connection, then definitely they're adding social status to you. They're giving you some kind of social status related thing. Okay, so and then you feel, oh, this person is so petty with me. In front of the world we are this and we are that, and in front of the world they show this really nice clean image. It could also be their looks that play an important role, because sometimes if you have a good looking person in your life, then people can look up to you like, oh wow, you have so and so person in your life. I mean, this is a reality. Okay, but when they act petty, let's say they're leaving the house, in 10 minutes they are leaving the house, they know that you're not going to see them the whole day, and your words will have an effect on you. They're saying something mean, and then they are creating a fight, and then they're leaving. So you find it very annoying, you find it very disrespectful. You feel that they can be nice to you and they can say goodbye to you, or they can say, oh, I'll see you soon. They can give you a hug, whatever. So maybe they are making you feel jealous, or they could be a dog, like a dog that barks but doesn't bite or leave you, you know. I mean, I love dogs. I love dogs a lot, but I don't know why I felt like giving this example. But they could be, take it in a positive way. You know, you have a pet, your dog, your beautiful dog, it's barking. Some people might find it annoying, or you might get scolded for it by some random person, let's say, or even in the house, your mother can say, "Oh, your pet is making so much noise, I'm on the call," whatever. I'm just giving an example. You know that your pet is barking a lot, but your pet and you both love each other a lot, and they never bite you, they never attack you, and they can never leave you, they'll always be around you. So then you can accept that, right? We accept certain things about people, and we accept certain personalities, even our pets, you know, we accept them. I think pets is a very good example. Why was I doubting my choice of example? Pets are a very good example here. Cats and dogs, if you have some other kind of pet, you see, we accept them, we accept their annoyances also, or sometimes we take very difficult responsibilities. Like most people who have a pet dog, they have to take the dog out for a walk every day, sometimes twice in a day for some pets, sometimes once in a day, maybe another time some helper is coming, someone they have hired. So you see, you are taking such a difficult responsibility, but you love to do it. You love to take your dog out for a walk. Some people really enjoy that time, okay, that timing in a day, because they really love their pets. But you don't look down upon it, right? That's my point. You take the responsibility, or you take the problems or the difficulty or the challenges with a very high spirit. Same as with your partner, or same as with your specific person, or with this platonic or paternal maternal connection. It may not be perfect, there could be a lot of flaws. In this collective reading specifically, I am being told about speech issues, communication issues, but overall this person, uh, they are with you, they are committed to you, they are devoted to you, they are devoted to the idea of you. They don't know how to express, they don't know how to express it correctly, their feelings. But or they might be doing certain things which you don't like, which you feel it's kind of tacky behavior, you know, but they are still doing it and it's okay. And maybe they have some very good excellent taste in something else, like vehicles or comforts, or having good surroundings. And I'm being told, if you have children, if you share a child with this person, then they will raise your child in a good environment, in an aesthetic frequency. They'll make things nice, there will be luxuries, there will be materialistic things, is what I'm being told. Yeah. Yes, that is your energy. And this person might also transform. They might change later on. They might become better later on. Even that is being told to me. So if you're a part of this collective and you want to see certain changes, you feel really pulled to these words, you feel a resonance, but you don't know how to work it out, then you can work with me one on one. You can get into therapy sessions with me, or you can get into single sessions and figure out what therapies will suit you, or what's your reading like. You can either get into a reading, or you can get into a session with me, a therapy session with me, okay, where you can learn that small games do not work on big players. How to do it, how to pull it off, you can figure it out. Check out the description box for all the information. You can get my book, In the Name of Love, A Journey of Finding an Ultimate Soulmate. The link is also given below. And you can also become my Patreon. So you can do all these cool things, become my Patreon, get the book, get into a session with me. Yeah, but one more thing I want to say to you is, if you get into an intuitive reading with me, then kindly do not share all the information. If you're not able to book the session, if you're having any problems, you could be from India or any part of the world, then write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com. And yeah, I am being told that this person will can eventually stop competing with you. They will start consulting with you. They will look up to you if you work on yourself, and if you work on your career, and if you work on your independence, because that's how a lot of people change opinions, a lot of people give you respect. And there's nothing so different about your specific person as well. Most people are same. Okay, so last but not the least, you need to also work on your moon energy, which is your emotional state. Because I'm being noticing that you are, your reactivity and your reactions basically is what they are feeding on. Don't give them that material, give them better material. Okay, let them figure it out, let them work through it. Let them be more responsible. Give them some tasks, some important tasks, and use their potential. Give them tasks that they love to do, which they thrive in. And these things can change your energy, your frequency, your aura, and then it can give you lots of materialistic gains and spiritual gains as well. So, this is where I will close this session. Thank you so much for being here with me. I will see you in the next one. One love, peace out, and Victor to Ram.